Susanna Wesley was the mother of 19 children. I shudder to think of the conversation at dinner time. She herself came from a family of 29. It was Susanna that had the impact upon her children, especially John and Charles. One became the sweet hymn writer, the other the profound evangelist covering 2 continents. One day, young John Wesley looked at his mother and said, "Mother, can you give me a definition of sin?" And John Wesley's mother said this, "Son, whatever weakens your reasoning, impairs the tenderness of your conscience, obscures your sense of God, or takes away your relish for spiritual things." In essence, she said, if anything increases the authority and the power of the flesh over the spirit, that to you, John Wesley, becomes sin, however good it is in itself. You know what Wesley accomplished in a lifetime? And he wasn't a very tall man, 5'1" or 2" or something like that and change. Not exactly cutting an imposing figure when he stood in front of the masses. John Wesley in his lifetime preached 40,000 sermons. Now, I don't know if you and I can really compute that in our thinking. Some of my years in my early 20s were spent in Toronto, Canada. Probably the best known preacher out of Canada at that time was a man by the name of Oswald J. Smith. When Oswald J. Smith passed away, Billy Graham came to speak at his funeral. And Billy Graham was celebrating the fact that O.J., as he was known, preached 12,000 sermons in his life. Now, 12,000 sermons is a lot of sermons. But if 12,000 is a lot of preaching, what is 40,000? 12,000 in the day of technology, 40,000 in the day of the horseback. John Wesley was the original Sermon on the Mount. He mounted his horse and would go and preach. 40,000 sermons. He worked with 15 different languages, produced 600 pieces of literature, including those massive journals. At the age of 83, he was angry with his doctor because they wouldn't let him preach more than 14 times a week. At the age of 86, found written in his journal are these words: "Laziness is slowly creeping in. There's an increasing tendency to stay in bed after 5:30 in the morning." I try to console myself by saying he probably went to bed at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, you know. Think of the record of that kind of life. I strongly suspect because it was instructed by a mother who reminded him how to stay away from that which would destroy the purpose for which he was called. How critical it is for you and me to know our calling. To know our calling. To know our purpose. Once you've established that, that gives you the precondition of determining what you say yes to and what you say no to.